For those of you out there that think these new Mercedes are way too complicated, let's go back in history a little bit, and I want to share with you something I think from the 1970s was too complicated, and you're looking at it right here. This is the first generation automatic climate control that Mercedes introduced into the US market in 1977. It came on the W116 S-Class, it came on the W107, the 450 SL, 450 SLC, and it showed up in the very first 300D, a W123 chassis. And this was something that the people wanted, okay? Oh yeah, people wanted automatic climate control, and because Mercedes didn't have a automatic climate control system already on the drawing board, they had to hurry their system to market by robbing some parts from good old Chrysler Corporation. Enough said about that. Okay, this is what we're looking at. Can you believe this? We have this black box here, the mysterious black box. We have all these wires coming out of it. Vacuum line. Look at the vacuum hose system. Now, where do you think all those vacuum hoses went? Yeah, they went all over the place, including a lot of them went under the dash, and they went to the control unit. You had vacuum connections. Look at the vacuum connections here at the back of this switch panel. And look at this control wheel to adjust the heat in the car. And you had, other things that were put in the car, including amplifiers, and this is an example of the temperature sensor. And we now had a temperature sensor, temperature probe. I mean, we're using these in new cars today, but this was 1977, where this would measure the temperature flowing from the cabin back into the blower motor, and it would regulate the automatic feature of holding that temperature constant inside the car. Well, that's great. Well, with complexity, we've all learned with complexity comes problems when these systems age. And this, I mean, this isn't something that's showed up recently. This has been a problem with owners of these cars for the last 20 years. And they started having problems with these within a few years after production. So I guess when you're at the leading edge, okay, when you're at the leading edge, you pay the price. And this is one of the things that I think Mercedes gets a lot of flack for, and they don't get any credit for, is the fact that they are always at the leading edge. And when they do something new and innovative, they have to go through the growing pains, and then all the other manufacturers follow along behind and copy what they've done. That's typical with ABS brakes. I have the 1978 450 SEL 6.9 with the very first digital ABS brakes produced in the world. And of course, whoa, when that came out, it was pretty sophisticated. They had some problems, and of course, now everybody has ABS. Think about poor Boeing with their Dreamliner and all the pains they've had to go through with that composite aircraft, including the modern technology batteries. They're going to pay the price. They're going to go through all the pain, and then pretty soon, all the airliners in the world are going to be made like the Dreamliner is made. Okay, off the subject. I'm just on one of my rants here, but let's get back to this climate control early system. How do you know? Some of you are going to say, well, how do I know if I have this system in my Mercedes? I'm going to show you right here. You will know by this unit right here. This will be in the center of your dash, and it will have push buttons going up and down vertically with the control temperature wheel on this side. If you have a panel that looks like this in your Mercedes, then this is the system you have. And I congratulate you, okay? You're going to have some fun. Now, how do you fix this? Whoa, that's a huge subject. You're probably thinking, well, Kent, what are you doing with all these pieces on the workbench here? Well, most of these parts are no longer available. We do have a good friend of mine is producing these upgrades. We'll talk about that more with the aluminum housings. You can still purchase these. You can purchase amplifiers. But a lot of these dash control units and some of the other pieces are no longer being made. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling out my boxes. I'm going through all my stock. I've got some really nice. Look at this control panel here. This is like brand new. In fact, you can look at the back side. It doesn't even have any evidence of heat back here, and there's no melting on the plastic. And look at this. There's no wear. So this is like an NOS part. And what I'm going to do is go through all this stuff I've got, and I'm going to put the good parts up on my website for sale, because I know some of you are going to be looking for control panels and amplifiers and other things that you might need. And like I said, you're not going to find them anywhere else. So, you know, it's not a simple system to troubleshoot. It isn't. And you can have some simple problems that can be quickly isolated and fixed, and you can have huge problems that can just drive you crazy. A lot of people have just literally bypassed this system. We have a kit on my website which will allow you to put in a manual valve and just bypass the system. Now, that's not ideal because you're not going to get any automatic control of your heater, but some people say, just let me turn it off when I want to, or just let me get some heat. Because a lot of people will email me and complain, say, Ken, I turn my wheel up and down and nothing happens, or I push my buttons here and the fan doesn't go on. And sometimes it's not the blower motor, okay? It's not the blower motor's the problem. There's other issues. So the other reason I've got all these parts out is I'm going to spend the next couple weeks working on a video, an on-demand video, which will go step by step through this system and how to troubleshoot it and how to repair it on your own. Because I know there's not a lot of good resource. I'll give you some links to where you can get some of the parts that are available, new quality parts for repair, and then you'll get to see some of the troubleshooting steps I go through to determine, you know, is your servo bad? Is your climate control panel bad? If you don't know what's bad, and you don't know how the system works, or you don't know the key components of the system, you're not going to be able to troubleshoot. You're going to be totally in the dark. So I'll go through that in the video, and then you know, so if you have one of these first generation Mercedes climate control systems, I say welcome to the club. Okay, welcome to the club. Don't lose heart. They are repairable. I have a 1979 300 SD that has a beautifully operating climate control system in it. I wouldn't give it up. It took a little effort to repair it, and I did some upgrades to it, but I just love the system. We'll go over those upgrades too in this on-demand video. So if we can be of help with your early climate control systems, you know where to go.